In this episode, we explore what it's like for astronauts to exercise and stay healthy in space.
So now I got to go through it again?
Project Ianos, you are go for launch.
Hey, Josh Bernstein here. You ever wondered what it's like to exercise in space? Well, 6th grader Christian has.
What is it like to exercise with no gravity?
Excellent question, Christian. And I've got a few more. What's it like to lift weights in space when everything's weightless? How does NASA measure the effect of living in zero gravity? What effect does zero-G have on muscles and bones? Those are just some of my questions. Let's search for answers together.
To learn about living in space, I'm visiting Space Center Houston in Texas to meet Jennifer Hammond, a Boeing engineer who leads mission evaluations of the International Space Station.
So this is a typical cardio machine that astronauts would use. It's just a way to get your muscles going. Astronauts do cardio.
Yeah.
They lift weights.
But weights, I imagine, are different because a 50-pound dumbbell wouldn't weigh anything in space.
Correct. They need to use a resistance system.
Cables, rather than weights, provide the resistance needed in space to challenge muscles, helping astronauts maintain their muscle mass.
How much time in an astronaut's day is allocated for working out?
Anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. They have different plans and regimens. They'll do cardio some days, they'll do strength training other days, much like we would here on Earth.
But unlike here on Earth where it might be elective, it's actually mandatory in space, isn't it?
It absolutely is mandatory, yes. You have to make sure that you're maintaining your muscle mass and your bone density because you're not using your muscles in the same way when you're in space. They're not working against gravity, so they have to maintain that even more in space.
We've seen images of astronauts being helped or even carried after they get back to Earth and have to deal with gravity again. To better understand this, I'm meeting Phyllis Friello, an education specialist and biologist.
So Josh, what we're doing this morning is we're taking a look at the functional task test. Now this is part of a test that's conducted with astronauts pre and post flight to try and find out how their body responds to being in conditions of weightlessness or microgravity.
This functional task test is one of many that NASA puts astronauts through before and after spaceflight.
NASA does this test. This is legit.
Yes, this is done just right across the street at Johnson Space Center.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Go. And around as fast as you can without touching. And keep going. And keep going. And end.
What'd I get? 9.78. Okay.
With a baseline time established, we now want to see how I might perform the same exact test after spending 6 months in space.
So you've probably seen pictures of when the astronauts come back from space. Their balance is a little bit off. That is because they've been working and living in a weightless environment. We can't send you to space, but we do have something that will challenge your balance or your vestibular system. These are prism glasses, and they just change the orientation of your sight.
So in lieu of going to space, put these on.
Put those on.
Okay. Yeah, that's wild.
This is not what the astronauts experience.
Whoa.
Their challenge is a little bit different, but this is the best we can do in 1G.
Okay, so now I got to go through it again?
You're going to do the course just like you did before, but challenged.
Yeah.
Remember, try and go as quickly as you can, but without touching any of the poles.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
Whoa.
Okay. Step over and under, and then over and
Oh,
around
I just hit that.
your first pole,
And I hit that.
the second,
Oh, and I hit that.
towards the green,
This is trippy. This way?
around the blue,
Oh, God.
and then straight towards me,
Okay.
and stop. Excellent job.
What did I get?
20 seconds.
20, so twice as long.
Twice as long.
And is that normal?
That's pretty normal for this, but
Yeah.
with the astronauts, it is more of a physiological challenge because they've been maybe up to 6 months in space. So the muscles are different, the bone density is different, there's no weight loading on their bones, and the loading on our bones keeps our bones healthy.
Unlike a 3-day trip to the moon, getting to Mars will take 7 months. NASA wants to be sure that humans can arrive there physically strong enough to explore the environment.
Just by changing orientation, I completely shift my perspective, literally, and then the insights I get about what astronauts would be facing on the moon or Mars.
Yes.
Sweet. That's cool.
As more humans go into space, we will learn more and more about human physiology and what it takes to keep our bones and muscles strong. In space, on the moon, and beyond.